What's going on, YouTube? We're back with another fight recap. Again, thank you for everyone that was here on the live commentary last night. We couldn't do the entire card, but I did do the four main events, the main fights on the main card yesterday. All right. Shout out to all the new subscribers, supporters to the channel. Welcome. Hope you enjoy it. Stick around for a little bit. And yeah, we had a good time last night, man. Shout out to everyone that saw the what's it called? My reaction to the knockout, the crazy knockout with AJ and Nagano. All right, I got to do more. I got to do a full video showing my top 10 reactions of fights. So let's talk about the co-main event: Joseph Parker against Zhang. I actually thought it would be. It's not that the fight wasn't competitive. The fight was clearly competitive, based on the knockdowns, but it's a very high technical fight. Both fighters were trying to make every punch count. Joseph Parker, congratulations to him. I just can't seem to get his predictions right. It's the third major fight of his that I got wrong in a row. Big fan of him, but when it comes to calling his fight, you never really know. But congratulations to him, because, like I said in a breakdown of the fight, this guy has one of the best resumes in all of boxing, period. Period. Like, he has wins over Zhang, over Deontay Wilder, over Andy Ruiz. Okay? He's lost to White. He lost to Joshua. He lost to Joe Joyce. But, I mean, he's fought nothing but quality fighters throughout his career. He is one of the top three. Resume-wise, he's a top three. He's a top three heavyweight of this generation, without a doubt. That's win or lose. He could go on to lose every fight from now on. Derek Chisora too. He has wins. Another win over. I'm talking about Derek Chisora as far as another win. He has been in there with so many guys. Carlos Taka. So many guys over the years, and he's got good wins over them. It's not like he lost. There was a period where when he came off the loss to the Joshua, and then a loss into White. There was a little period there where, there was other guys coming up. Andy Ruiz got hot, and, it was a long period. A lot of other fighters got hot. But he's made a strong second half of his career. And he's definitely, in this generation, in my opinion, has one of the best resumes out of all of the heavyweights. He's up there. Him and AJ, I think AJ probably has the best resume as far as continuously fighting like top fighters. But Joseph Parker is right there too with him. All right. So I want to say congratulations to him on the win. I think he did everything right. I said attack the body. I know Zhang was making the excuse about the Jerry Forrest fight that he was dehydrated and all this stuff. Jerry Forrest attacked the body continuously. Even way better than Parker did last night. And I think that was part of the reason why Zhang did so poorly. The man has low volume, and it was too low. This fight here was the lowest I've seen it. I mean, him coming in being over 290 pounds, ridiculous. It's unnecessary. You're already fighting a guy that is quicker than you, moves better than you, has higher volume, better stamina than you. You don't want to come in that low volume. The problem is with Zhang, and this is no disrespect. He's an elite fighter. He's an Olympian. He's very credible. So I'm not trying to disrespect him when I say this. The problem with Zhang is that I feel he's being lazy, okay, by coming in that heavy, and it shows in the fight. You are looking to land one punch. You don't feel like you need to prepare for a 12-round fight. I don't like that because halfway through the fight, even though he scored a knockdown in the eighth, and I didn't even break down the actual fight, but I will. But you feel like you can just win off landing on a big punch. You can go rounds with only throwing a few punches around. And I feel like that's lazy. Get yourself fit. All right, run a little bit, cut down in some weight, just get yourself in shape, man. That was an embarrassing performance, even with the two knockdowns. Without the two knockdowns, I think some of you gave him the first 2 rounds. I thought the first 2 rounds, in my opinion, were pretty much 10-10 rounds. But I see that most people scored the first 2 rounds for him. Cool, that's fine. But outside of the third and the eighth rounds where you scored the knockdowns, you didn't win those rounds. I mean, you won them, but Joseph Parker was winning the entire round outside of the knockdown. Every other round was clear Joseph Parker rounds for me. Even the round right after the knockdown. He started the fourth round strong. And then after the first 30 seconds or minute or so, you just kind of let your foot off the gas. And the punches looked like they didn't have no sting behind them. You blew your load way too early. Even in the 12th round, you're going into the championship rounds and you're still not letting your hands go. That's, to me, being lazy. You relied on the KO, and now you don't even have the KO power to compete. So, in my opinion, very disappointing performance from Zhang. Joseph Parker did what he had to do. He showed up. He did exactly what he needed to do. Again, very easy rounds to score to me. I think the first 2 can go either way. I thought the third went to Zhang because of the knockdown. The fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, all Parker outworking him. The eighth, knockdown round, so it goes to Zhang automatically. And the ninth, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th is all Parker, just outworking him, attacking the body, jabbing, landing overhand rights. Parker landed the big shots. It looked like he could have hurt Zhang with a couple of them, but Zhang's a big man. He just couldn't put him down. But the man, he has to commit. If they do this rematch, which they probably will, he already, congratulated Joseph Parker for taking a win, and he's going to face him again. So they're going to have their rematch. They have a rematch clause. And the rematch is warranted. When you knock a guy down twice, the rematch is warranted. So I get it. But if you're going to come into this rematch, if you're going to go into this rematch, obviously, yes, you could. You have shown us that you have the power in hurting Joseph Parker. So there's still a possibility he may win the rematch. But if he doesn't show up to this fight in shape, you don't need to be 290. Cut it down. Get to 275, man. Get rid of that belly. You're too big. I said the same thing about Gerald Miller. It got to a point where once he started going over to like 290, 300, it was too much. And we saw that in the Triple D fight. You burned out. Plus, you're not juicing. So, cut and weight. Get in shape. Get in actual shape. Because you were burnt out very early. I mean, you're not high volume at all, but you relied on a knockout punch. And when it doesn't work, this is what happens. It was all the rounds I gave to Parker were easy rounds to score. Except the first 2. I think the first 2 rounds were probably the most difficult rounds. Because these guys were just filling each other out. But after that, it was clear Joseph Parker every round. Outside of the knockdowns. So Zhang needs to get in shape, man. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He got the punching power. He's a southpaw. Good timing. He knows how to time the right hook. He knows how to time the left hand. Like, he's good, but you're just throwing a couple jabs around sometime. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're relying too much off the the knockout, and maybe it's because he's coming off that those Joyce wins, and I think now he's been kicked back down to reality. Like, look, you have performed poorly before. There was a point where I didn't think he was that good, but those Joyce wins and even the Hergovich fight made me like, okay, nah, he's legit. He's dangerous. He has the power. He can do this. But this performance was the worst of them all. Because not only are you low volume, but you're also getting outworked and attacked to the body, which I think I wouldn't say weak there, but it definitely affected him. He's already older. He's already 40 years old. So at the bare minimum, the least you can actually do is get in better shape. You don't need to be 290. You're already much bigger than Joseph Parker. Come in at 275, cut down some weight, work on the volume. You know what I mean? There was points, like I said last night, in the exchanges where they were on the inside, he still wasn't throwing. And those are the periods where I thought he would have shined, but he didn't have the stamina to compete. He didn't have it to keep throwing. He didn't have it to throw with Parker. It was all Parker. Parker did all of the work. So, again, congratulations to Joseph. Zhang, do better in a rematch, I mean, you can't use the excuse no more that you're dehydrated, man. Get in shape. Parker is in shape. Fought the right fight. The left hand, the first knockdown kind of came out of nowhere. It's just like Parker was moving well, and out of nowhere, Zhang just caught him with the left, and Parker was badly hurt. I think Zhang just thought he could take his foot off the gas at that point. Didn't happen. I know he connected with the right hand, but again, after these knockdowns, it's like, what did he do after to finish him off? He did nothing. He was so limited. So congrats for Parker, taking two knockdowns, getting back up, continuing to win the fight, won all of the championship rounds. I mean, he's one of the greats of this generation, man. He definitely is. Parker is super legit, super elite. In this time, believe it or not. I mean, out of the 4 best in the last 10 years, I would have to say at this point, it's Fury, AJ, Usyk, and Parker. Parker, you have to rate him over Wilder at this point. At this point, you have to rate him over Wilder. Those are the top 4 guys of this time, Maybe we'll talk more about that when I get everybody together and see how this all ends, because it's been a lot of guys that was good over the years. You had Andy Ruiz was good. Dillian White was good. You had some good fighters, but I mean, Joseph Parker is legit, man. Anyway, yeah, there's nothing else to really go forward with, because if these guys have a rematch, then if these guys have a rematch, then it is what it is. I see Joe Joyce already called out Parker. He wants to have his rematch. Parker's not gonna fight you. Parker already got stopped by you, and Joyce. Unfortunately for Joyce, Joyce. I'm not trying to write him off, but these guys are so close to a title fight that I can't see Parker fighting no one else other than AJ or like Hergovich or something. Like, I can't see Parker fighting anyone else until after he gets a shot with Fury, or he's probably not gonna fight Fury if Fury is the win. But yeah, Parker is not gonna do it. Maybe he'll do it AJ too, but I can't see him fighting like a Joe Joyce or something like that. And if they don't have a rematch, I can see AJ fighting Parker in a rematch. Let's just say for whatever reason, Zhang doesn't take the rematch, doesn't exercise the rematch clause or whatever, or activate it. I can see Parker and AJ fight for a second time over AJ fighting like a Philip Hergovich, who I think he will fight for the IBF Mando spot. All right. So anyway, that's my review of the fight. Again, Parker just simply outworked him. You know, Parker connected with the jab, the right hand, attacked the body. Zhang really didn't do anything outside of the 2 knockdowns, man, if I'm being completely honest. All right, so that's my review. I'll see you guys later on. Yeah, have a good day. Again, shout out to all the new supporters. Shout out to all the old supporters. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.